Close your eyes and imagine a stormy night in South Carolina, 1767. The wind howls through the frontier forests, and in a simple log cabin, a baby's loud cry pierces the darkness. His father never even got to see him. This child would one day become the hero of the Battle of New Orleans and the 7th President of the United States. This is the strange, fierce, and deeply contradictory life of Andrew Jackson. He was born into poverty, but not into weakness. His father, Andrew Jackson Sr., an Irish immigrant farmer, died in an accident just weeks before his son's birth. When Andrew was only 13, the American Revolution began. He joined as a courier, was captured by the British, and when he refused to polish an officer's boots, a sword slashed deep scars across his face and hand, scars he carried for life. His mother and both brothers died in the war, leaving Andrew a complete orphan at 14. His hatred for the British never faded. Jackson pulled himself up, became a lawyer, moved to Tennessee, bought land, and planted cotton. But here too lay a dark shadow. Like most Southern planters, he relied on enslaved labor. Over his lifetime, he owned more than 300 enslaved people, and his plantation, the Hermitage, was built by their hands. He fell in love with Rachel Donaldson, a woman he believed was divorced, but the paperwork wasn't final. Their marriage became a scandal. Vicious rumors spread, and Jackson fought multiple duels to defend his wife's honor. In one famous duel, a bullet lodged near his heart and stayed there until his death. 1812 war with Britain again. Jackson, now a general, crushed the Creek tribe at Horseshoe Bend. Then at New Orleans, with a small ragtag force, he destroyed a massive British army. His soldiers nicknamed him Old Hickory, tough as hickory wood, for his unbreakable endurance. But victories weren't always clean. During the Seminole Wars, he invaded Florida without congressional approval, expelled the Spanish, and nearly sparked another war. 1828, one of the nastiest elections in American history. Opponents attacked Rachel, questioning their marriage. Jackson won, but Rachel died just weeks before the inauguration, broken by grief and the vicious campaign. Jackson always believed the political attacks killed her. On Inauguration Day, thousands of ordinary citizens stormed the White House, a symbol that Jackson saw himself as the president of the common man. Jackson called the Second Bank of the United States a monster, an institution that, in his eyes, kept power in the hands of the wealthy elite. The bank war began. He vetoed its recharter, withdrew federal funds, and scattered them to friendly state banks. Critics said he was dangerously expanding executive power. Jackson replied, "The bank is trying to kill me, but I will kill the bank." And he did. But the darkest chapter, Indian removal policy. Jackson believed native tribes must be moved west of the Mississippi, supposedly voluntarily, but in reality through pressure, fraud, and force. He signed the Indian Removal Act in 1830. Thousands of Cherokee, Choctaw Creek, and others were marched away. On the Trail of Tears, roughly 4,000 Cherokee died of cold, hunger, and disease. Jackson even ignored a Supreme Court ruling that upheld Cherokee rights, reportedly saying, "The judge has made his decision. Now let him enforce it." Jackson introduced the spoils system, giving government jobs to political friends and supporters. It expanded democracy, but also bred corruption. During the nullification crisis, when South Carolina threatened to ignore federal tariffs, Jackson stood firm for the Union, even if it meant force. In 1835, a man tried to assassinate Jackson, the first presidential assassination attempt in U.S. history. Both pistols misfired. The 68-year-old president charged at the attacker with his cane. The would-be killer was subdued, but Jackson walked away unscathed. On June 8, 1845, Andrew Jackson died at the Hermitage, in debt, but with an enormous legacy. His tombstone simply reads, General at the Battle of New Orleans and President of the People. Nothing about the bank, the removals, or the enslaved people he owned. So who was Andrew Jackson? A self-made hero who rose from nothing to defend the common man against elites. Yet a man who sent thousands of Native Americans to their deaths and built his life on the labor of enslaved people. A fierce warrior who preserved the Union but denied freedom to so many. He was America itself, full of courage, rage, hope, and bitter contradictions, all in one man. The next time you hold a $20 bill or hear the story of the Battle of New Orleans, remember the orphaned boy scarred by a British sword. Remember the long marshes of the Trail of Tears. And remember Rachel, who died in silence from political attacks. Because that is the real story of Andrew Jackson. Not just the statues, not just the victories, but the shadows behind them. Thank you for listening. If this story moved you, the next one will be about another president, perhaps Franklin D. Roosevelt or someone else. Hit subscribe, close your eyes, and I'll see you in the next story.